I'm here at Bali Airport, Nahurai Airport, because we've got a big problem for Aussies coming over here to get out of, to get away from COVID. And it's not about the travel restrictions, it's not about visas, vaccinations, or any of that rubbish. It's about Jetstar. What the hell are they doing? Man, look, I have heard literally hundreds of people complaining in the last couple of weeks about Jetstar, and it's getting worse by the day. These guys must be losing so much market share. I tell you what, if you own an airline or even bloody airplane, just turn around and schedule a trip to Bali, because you'll fill it overnight with people that have been bumped and pushed and moved and changed and cancelled on their flights to Bali. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I'm going to find out. I've spoken to a heap of people. I'm going to speak to some more and try to get to the bottom of it. I tell you, here's the biggest problem I see. If you're just coming over for a couple of days or for, like, you know, a week or so, most people tend to spend, you know, between 5 and 10 days in Bali or thereabouts. Then if you've got a couple of days flexibility either side, you're probably okay. If you've got some travel insurance that's going to cover you in case of getting stuck somewhere or somewhere else, then you're probably okay. But if you're staying here on the visa on arrival system for the 30 days that you've got allowed that you can come on the one visa, and Jetstar changes your flights before you get to jump on a plane and leave within that 30-day period, you're up for $100 a day for every day you get stuck here. Now, don't think that that's going to be, oh, it's only a couple of $100 or whatever, because I've heard of people who have been stuck here for a week waiting for the next flight. They're cancelling flights left, right and centre. They are pushing people to the back of the queue. They're not even just rescheduling a flight, they're just saying, sorry, your flight's been cancelled. So you've left work, you've given your notice for your annual leave, you've packed the bags, you've got the kids in the car, you've shuffled them off to grandma's, you come all the way over to the airport. The last minute Jetstar says, I'm sorry, but we don't want to fly today. Or worse, they're stuck on a runway for 4 hours waiting for some technical glitch to be fixed. Now, I'll be honest, I'd rather fix a technical glitch than just jump in the plane, go up in the air and go, oh, we should have probably stayed at home. But it's just terrible, man. It is. I've heard so many stories about people who have been stranded, abandoned, or cancelled at the last minute, and people who have been stuck here because of the delays have not been able to make their connecting flights back to wherever else they're going, and they've ended up in all sorts of problems, losing their jobs, just running out of money. If you haven't got the money, you've got to pay for the flights up front half the time. If you've got to get off that airline to another one because you have to get back home, then what are you going to do? You've got to actually have a couple of grand spare in the bank, and not many of us do, I certainly don't, so that you can put some extra money, buy a ticket, and hope your insurance is going to cover it when you get back. Guys, be careful. If you're flying with Jetstar, the first thing I want to do is check your insurance. Honestly, check your travel insurance and make sure you're covered in the event of a cancellation, and the flights and accommodation and other extra expenses are covered as well. I don't believe your immigration or your visa fines are going to be covered, because it's physically a fine from the Bali government for overstaying every day you are here. That after your 30-day visa expires is, I believe, 1 million rupiah, $100. So that can add up. You got 3 or 4 kids or something like that, and you come over here for a bit of a holiday, and suddenly they've turned around and said, no, $100 a day for each one of you. It can add up to a lot of money. Guys, be careful. I tell you what, I'm looking for airfares at the moment. I'm definitely not looking on that airline because they're just not reliable. I don't know what it is. They can't get their act together since COVID. I think they had all that downtime to try and sort it out, but they're just stuffing so many people up. It's crazy. Listen, what I think I'll do is I'm going to talk to a few people while I cross this intersection. I'll talk to a few people that have directly been interfered with, because they might know a little bit more about what the airline's telling them, how much notice, how much delays, what inconvenience. On the positive side, I've seen a few people that have turned around and said, well, I should have been at home by now, but here's me sitting in a hotel. Now, I've heard that they give you about $75 a day for accommodation and a $35 meal kit. I think you got to pay it up front and they reimburse you or something like that. Not sure. Look into it before you go. Find out on your airline for your flights. It might be a different thing if you book standby or whatever, but find out before you leave what you could be up for. Otherwise, you could be in trouble. It's not good. Hey, listen, I ask you one thing before I go and talk to these other people. I'm just going to ask you one more thing. There's a little red button down below this screen. It's called subscribe. And subscribe doesn't cost you anything. It just helps YouTube to know people are watching me, so they can go and recommend this channel to more new viewers. And the more new viewers, the more chance I've got of being able to cover the cost of just being here, helping you to learn what to do, how to come here, what to do safely, and how to get home safely. So if you can do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and when you get over here, look me up.
I think people are getting paranoid too, because we had a lady on, I think it was on Bali this morning, that said their flight had been changed to like 11 o'clock, but I think because they have two flight numbers the same, JQ37. They have one that flies to and from Cairns, JQ37, and one that flies to here. So I think everybody's getting confused because they're all paranoid.
Look, I've popped into Jimbaran Bay, which is, if you look over the edge of the horizon there, you'll see the airport and the runway there. It goes out in the ocean. And it's one of the most beautiful parts of Bali. What a place to land and to fly into, with all these fishing boats, and they're just getting ready to go out. All these boats out in the water are going to go out tonight out to the reef, and they're going to go and fish for crayfish and beautiful reef fish and stuff like that. And then they bring it over here to the markets, and this is where we go every week when we bring a heap of locals or a heap of tourists, my fans, over to the fan zone and to the Jimbaran seafood market. So the problem, as I was saying before, is we've got an issue with the planes not getting here on time, not coming at all, being delayed, being cancelled outright, and people with a limited visa time being stranded in Bali and paying fines to get back home again. You've got to have the money up front for your second airfare if you've got to buy another ticket, especially if you can't get back on the airline you're on. So look, I don't want to just be the one doing all the talking for a change. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk to a couple of mates of mine, and look at this guy. What a t-shirt he's got. Now, they are going to be worth $1 million one day. Or actually, no, probably someone in Bali will probably reproduce them for $5, and then you've got to haggle over it.
Knocked off.
Listen, Wayne, tell me about your situation, because I know you can come in here and have a whinge as well. Come on.
Yeah, look. We took 2 days to get here, flying with Jetstar. We had our flight out of Sydney at about 4:30 in the afternoon. We sat at the airport until 10:30 at night until they decided that it was cancelled. And if you live 50 k's or less, you didn't get a room. So you had to go home, come back. And then we sat on the ramp the next night in a plane that had no air conditioning for an hour waiting for paperwork.
Bloody hell.
We eventually got here, so Bali's fantastic.
Now,
just getting here's a problem.
Out of interest, did you check with your travel insurance? Did you have travel insurance?
We have travel insurance.
So are you covered for delays and sort of stuff with your insurance?
We don't know.
I believe we're covered for problems with airlines if they cancel.
Yeah.
So we've got that covered.
I don't think you're covered for fines though from the government.
I don't think we're
But you're
covered.
Not here for the whole month, are you?
No, we're only here for 2 weeks.
Well, you think so?
We've got half a chance of getting home inside our visa.
Do you have to be somewhere when you get home, or could you stay a couple of days?
No, we're happy to stay if they cancel.
Well, there you go. So, hey, listen, it's not all doom and gloom. And how have you found it so far?
I think it's beautiful, Bali. I mean, yeah, come over, support everybody. They're all beautiful people. And look, Muzza is doing a great job over here. I can't commend him. He's just a beautiful person. But Jetstar,
ugly but beautiful.
but Jetstar,
beauty's on the inside, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
They need to really look at what they're doing wrong to people. Again, we came over here, we've sat in, like, I think it's 32 hours to get here. And that's just not fair on us or
We've
anybody
got family
else.
coming on Friday.
Family coming
hoping to,
Friday.
We've got
yeah.
family coming this Friday, so
And you've talked to other people in your hotel or on your journeys.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Well, we spoke to 2 fellas at Ybar the other night. They've been here since last Sunday trying to get home.
Wow.
They had to book flights on Qantas to get home, cost them $1,000 each just to get home, and they already had flights with Jetstar, but they couldn't get on a plane. So what do you do?
So it's too bad if you're going, like I come over on holidays, and I usually spend every cent I've got getting here, booking the accommodation, a little bit of spending money, but I don't leave a couple of grand sitting in the bank just in case the airline decides, oh, we need to maintain that aircraft, it's time to do a service. And I've heard,
I don't think they've got enough planes online.
What did they say to you was the delays or the cancellations? Did you get a decent...
We got a maintenance problem. Then we were told a different reason, that there was a staff shortage, ground staff, all that sort of thing. Then we got told it was a maintenance problem again, but we got on a plane that really shouldn't have flown. It didn't have an APU for air conditioning. It didn't have centre toilets. There's 300 people trying to share 2 toilets. So what do you do, mate?
It's disgusting.
Hey, it'd be worse coming home with Bali Belly, wouldn't it?
Oh,
Hey, well, how would you do it? You wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Oh.
You'd be shitting.
Oh, well. And listen. No, I won't edit that. I'm going to keep it in because it's a must zone. And how was your experience? You didn't fly in Jetstar, did you?
No. We flew in on Qantas.
Oh, I went on a big one.
Yeah, me and my partner here, Danny. We're from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Originally, we were a party of 4. It's a bit of a heartbreaker, our one, because we were bringing over my like me and her have been here several times. I was bringing over my auntie and uncle who pretty much raised me.
Yeah.
Brought me up from a young fella. So I get choked up by talking about this.
Oh, me too, bro.
Tell them, mate, I had the spelling wrong.
Yeah, it's the spelling wrong on her
What
passport.
happened was we made a booking with Qantas for my auntie and my uncle to come over with us. Me and her footed the bill for everything. It was meant to be, this whole trip was meant to be about them. It was a way of us paying them back. When we got to the airport, they had spelt her name wrong. They had put an I and an extra A in her name, and because of that they wouldn't let her get on the plane, even though it was their fault. They wouldn't let her get on the plane. We literally stood at the desk begging them to let her on, or to try and change the name if they could. I told them I'll pay whatever they want, whatever, just get her on the plane.
Made it happen.
And pretty much the guy that was there just held us there until we had no other choice but to run through immigration and run to catch our plane. We had to leave them behind. The moment I landed in Sydney, I had an 8-hour layover because our other plane was delayed. So during that whole 8 hours, I spent that whole time on the phone
Trying to get them over. Can't do it.
Begging. Most of the time my phone just got disconnected. All of a sudden it would just hang up, and then I'd have to ring up again, start the process from the bottom, go again, but to no avail. But yeah, so we had to sort of ring back, and like my auntie, she just survived cancer. Like she's a cancer survivor. My uncle's got heart issues where I don't even know if I could bring them back next year. That's how it is. I know I could have got them here this year, but yeah, it's heartbreaking for us. But hey, what can you do?
Make the best of it while you're here,
Yeah.
and see if you can't get them over in the meanwhile.
Yeah, well that's all we
Oh,
can
brother.
do.
Well, listen, thanks for your story.
But the prices at the moment too, they're just going through the roof.
It's just crazy, and the service doesn't cover the price.
No.
So if you're paying good money, you're paying $1,000 or something to get over here, you expect it to be bloody good money. And we've spent, not delayed and stupid excuses, or we don't have any staff, or that we've run out of planes. How can you run out of planes? Isn't there a heap of them parked up in the desert somewhere? Like, I don't get it, but I tell you what, Jetstar, you're on notice, and Qantas, if you're messing with people around, this is people's lives we're playing there. It's not just someone going on holidays, it's people reuniting with their family. There's so much more than just people going out for a good time. Look after them. That's all we ask. We just want to come in here and get over COVID, get over all the rubbish that we've put up with for the last couple of years. And the first chance you do, you just turn around, like it seems like you're just digging those knives in. So look, I don't want to just be negative. I try to have a good time with my vlogs, but I know, just be careful. On the positive side, for those of you that have come here, got insurance, and you got a couple of dollars that in case something does go wrong, you might end up with a couple of free days. You could be the ones that say to Jetstar, hey listen, don't put me at the top of the list, I'll stay for a couple of days if you need to take someone to sacrifice, as long as you're going to cover it. But here we go. Hey guys, thanks for coming, thanks for watching. We'll put this online tonight so you guys can get ready. Check your tickets, check your terms and conditions on the insurance, and check the airlines and just see what the hell's going on. Love your work. Cheers guys, bye.
Hundreds of Victorians are stranded in Bali tonight amid a series of last-minute Jetstar cancellations. Tired and frustrated families have missed work, school, weddings and even funerals as planes remain on the tarmac due to vital maintenance. Adam Hegarty reports.
The only seats for these travellers were around the baggage carousel. Jetstar, Melbourne to Bali, Saturday night. Delayed and delayed again, then cancelled. 3 hours on.
They can't leave people in limbo. Like, there were people who were going to weddings.
Planes grounded for maintenance. Carmel Centofanti won't accept the excuse.
Would I fly Jetstar again? No.
9 News understands Jetstar's battling a shortage of engineers, meaning they can't keep up with their own flight offers. At Denpasar Airport, cancelled flight after cancelled flight.
We were meant to fly out yesterday.
Hoping to find out soon if we can get on a flight tonight to get home. We've been trying to call them and can't get through.
Thousands impacted, 200 still stranded.
The only way we could get home was booking a flight to Sydney with a 4-hour delay on the 4th of September.
That got cancelled too.
And we've missed funerals, so it's been a very stressful time over here.
After 3 grounded flights in a week, Dominic Buick and family lost faith.
It cost us $3,600 for the flights with Virgin. And, you know, our accommodation that we've had to extend, it's not cheap.
And it's not just Bali. Affected Jetstar passengers venting online from Japan, Thailand and New Zealand. The common theme, it was last minute. This reaction says it all.
We would like to sincerely apologise for the inconvenience and frustration caused.
But for many, an apology just doesn't cut it. The planes will be fixed, though the damage to the brand could very well be permanent.
I would not fly Jetstar or Qantas again.
Jetstar blaming just about everything.
A lightning strike, a bird strike, an item taxied over on the way up to the runway.
Adam Hegarty joins me live from Melbourne Airport. Adam, how will Jetstar get these travellers home?
Well, Pete, they're clearly trying to shuffle some things around. We're told by Jetstar that there should be 26 flights from Bali to Australian airports between today and Thursday, and that will include 5 so-called special dedicated flights to try to get those people home. So we'll see how that goes. It's not the end to the dramas at the airports, though, not by a long shot. Next Monday, there will be a baggage handler strike. The good news is that will be in Brisbane, Sydney and Adelaide, but the very real fear, Pete, is it could flow on here.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Adam Hegarty, reporting there.